Opening thoughts with the Tudor Black Bay 39 blue dial Jubilee bracelet. This is a very sharp looking watch, and I really like this size. It comes in at a versatile 39 millimeter size. In the first impression that I have, this watch is kind of a mix between a Rolex Datejust and a Rolex Explorer. It has that beauty, it has the finesse, it has the polishing and presence of a Datejust. I think the 5-link Jubilee style bracelet really helps in this regard, but it also is very legible with large applied markers and a large distinctive handset. I know not everybody enjoys the snowflake hands, but I love the snowflake hands. They are, I'd say, top 3 overall hand designs in my opinion. They are very legible, and it is synonymous with Tudor, this overall design. So I like the handset. You add in the T-Fit clasp, and this really brings the best out of both worlds from the more dressy Datejust and the more sporty Explorer. And I like that personally. I think there will be some watch collectors that will call this watch a Tudor's Datejust or a Tudor's fancier Explorer. And I don't necessarily think that that would be accurate. To me, this is a good blend of elements from both watches, but it still feels very much like a Tudor and not like a Rolex. And I know some watch collectors will really value that. The fit and finish is very well done. I really enjoy the case edge chamfering and high polishing. It brings an old school Tudor or Rolex vibe, and there is a seemingly equal amount of brush work and high polish work. The case sides and bezel are high polish and reflect a lot of light, especially outside in natural light. And then the bracelet center links are also high polish, or excuse me, the center portions of the bracelet links are high polish. The rest of the watch, the rest of the bracelet is sharply brushed, and I think this has an excellent visual presence and a very comfortable fit. Now, there will be a nice downturn to the lug, so this watch sits flat while it is on wrist, and for reference, my wrist is 7.25 inches in circumference. And speaking from my own watch taste preferences, I personally would like to see a little bit more dramatic taper on this bracelet, but that is certainly not a deal breaker. Another element that stands out while this watch is, in hand, in person, in the metal, is the fact that this color of dial is different. It's a lighter, almost slate blue that Tudor refers to as blue on their website. It's not deep, it's not dramatic, it's not vibrant, it's more understated. And I think that's a really nice thing. More on the dial in a minute. Now, inside this watch is the Tudor manufacturer caliber 5602. This is a COSC certified movement with 25 jewels, a free sprung balance set, and a full balance bridge. That's great for just shock protection and overall architecture of the design. The silicone hairspring is anti-magnetic, and there will be a variable inertia regulation system for dialing in the movement. This has 70 hours of power reserve, which is nearly 3 days, but it is rather thick at 6.5 millimeters in height, and that is nearly 2 millimeters thicker than a standard ETA 2824. So although it has some very nice specifications when it comes to the tech elements of the caliber, it is a rather thick movement. But that I don't think has a large effect of the watch while it is being worn. This watch definitely does not feel too tall, so I wouldn't be concerned about that. Unlike the Burgundy Dial Black Bay 41 Diver, this movement is not METIS certified, but it is chronometer certified. So I would expect to see these calibers, the 5602, become master chronometers sometime in the future. That is something that I'm told that Tudor is working on. Under the macro lens, you will see nice silver printing and a very balanced overall dial layout. I like the no date here. I like the snowflake hands, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video. But I will say, under the macro lens, you will see some slight imperfections, and that is noticeable on the high polish finish. This is certainly nothing out of the ordinary at this price and under this level of magnification. Reviewing watches for nearly a decade now, and going in on a macro level, I see this stuff all the time. So although it might look jarring, it is pretty common at a sub $5,000 watch. And I think if you had a similarly priced watch and you sent it to me, I could definitely find something similar under the macro lens, though I do admit it would be nice if this was absolutely perfect. I do enjoy, though, the graining of the sunburst, the starburst pattern here on the dial. I think it adds some nice character, especially in this subtle blue, almost slate blue type of color. From arm's length, you will not see any imperfections. In fact, I think this actually holds its own very well visually next to a far more expensive Rolex day date. Now, closing thoughts with the Tudor Black Bay 39 Blue. This is not a perfect piece. I think this watch would benefit from some anti-reflective treatment on the flat sapphire crystal. I think the bracelet could taper a little bit more in my opinion. And then ideally, no imperfections would be visible on the dial under magnification. And then lastly, I would like to see master chronometer on the dial as opposed to chronometer officially certified sometime in the future. But that aside, for what this is, I think it is amazing. I love the simple design. I love the blend of dressy and sporty elements. I think the lume is fantastic. I think the tactile feel of the thread down crown and the movement operation beats many Rolex models. And I can't say enough good about the T-Fit clasp. The engineering, the execution is just fantastic there. This watch makes a strong case for a versatile, go anywhere, do anything type of timepiece that leans a little bit more into the sporty side of the market. Now, the retail price, $4,025 on this 5-link bracelet. To me, this still feels like you are getting your money's worth of watch, and I do enjoy the fact that there are multiple sizes, multiple dial colors, multiple strap options available, so you can find a flavor of the Black Bay that fits you. This one fits me very well, and it is personally tempting to add to the watch rotation. Now, lastly, I would like to thank Brent Miller Jewelers for lending this in for a review. If you are looking for a great family-owned Tudor authorized dealer, if you're shopping Tudor, they are easily my recommendation. Reach out to any of the sales staff, but I do have a personal friend, Brad, who works there. I'll leave his contact information as well as the store contact information in the description of this video. So reach out with questions. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.